Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Laura Klein and I'm with Rodan and Fields, and today I have a very special guest. Her name is Shelley Golden, and I'm going to introduce Shelley. So she is an international personal branding image consultant, a fashion stylist, a certified color consultant for over 20 years. Shelley is passionate about helping create your unique style, powerful personal brand to boost your confidence, attract the people you want into your life professionally and socially, both in person and online. And during COVID, she's had to reinvent herself, and she's created the Zoom Makeover, a 5-step process to help up-level the screen presence of you, your employees, your team members, to create a more professional image, which builds confidence and respect. So thanks so much for being here, Shelley. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, during this whole COVID, it's just really challenging, and you being a fashion consultant. So I personally have used Shelley to help me improve my brand, being with Rodan and Fields. You know, I'm representing a high-end skincare brand, and I wanted put my best foot forward, and I worked with Shelley, and she did my colors. We went shopping. She even picked out this top for me. And what I love is I even have a thing to take with me now when I go shopping. I can go with these colors and help figure out what tops and what clothes are going to bring out, you know, my skin tone and my hair color and all of that. So I really appreciate everything that you do, Shelley.
Oh, thank you. Actually, those colors look pretty good.
Yeah, it kind of matches my shirt, huh?
And when you open it up, it's like, yeah, those look like
those go. Those are her colors.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with the Zoom makeover? What, I'm assuming it's because of COVID, but tell us what happened.
It was one of those things. I met a woman who said, hey, you're an image consultant, a fashion stylist. Oh, let's get together. Let's have a phone call. Maybe we could do an event. She's a sales strategist. And we had our first phone meeting a couple days after shelter in place. And it's like, okay, well, I could help people look good online, as I call it, in the box. And so that's how it was born. I literally started helping people how to look good in the box. I lived in Amsterdam for 10 years. And when I was there, I studied European art, in particular the Dutch masters. So I feel like I'm creating little paintings, with the foreground, the midground, the background, what's the lighting, is it coming in from the side, how to counterbalance it. And that's really how it was born. And since I'm a color consultant, I'm really good at figuring out how to have people, what color people should wear in their space, in their surroundings that works with their skin tone. So that really, that when people are looking at you online, that you look approachable, you look like you're sitting at the table with them, and that it's not distracting.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I know from my own experience during this period of time, we've kind of gone a little bit more casual, not dressing. A lot of people are not wearing as much makeup and wearing maybe their workout clothes and things like that. But what you're saying is you want to continue to have your image and your presence to be the same as if you were in face to face. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to keep up your brand. You've worked really hard to build respect for yourself and for what you do. And you want people to maintain that same level of respect for you. And so I feel that that's really important as part of your personal brand. And people will remember that, that even though we had our meetings on Zoom, you still stepped up and you still not only looked the part, but you did the work that you performed or the service that you performed was still the same quality.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense. So what are your thoughts with or what is the psychological impact when you are using a virtual background versus a real life background? So I'm using a virtual background. You are using your real life background. So I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are on that.
Right. So I love that question because so many people have have virtual backgrounds, and there's a couple of thoughts that I have that I really want to stress. First of all, whether you have a virtual background that is realistic looking, the one thing that makes the difference is whether you have a green screen or no green screen. These are things that you could buy, and there's different sizes: 3x3, 4x4. There's really large ones. And the benefit of having a green screen is that when you move, your hair doesn't grow and you're not coming in and out of the view, as long as you're not wearing green. And the reason it's green is because most people don't have green clothing, green hair, so that it's a different color. But you could even use a white wall, and it would be better than not having that. So that's one thing. In terms of virtual backgrounds, you could actually take your own photograph and upload it, which is really, really nice. But one word of advice, and I've experienced this, and I could see Laura's virtual background, and it's not bad, is that be warned that if you have a photograph, say you have a living room behind you, you want everything to look like it's at the actual level that you're at. I was doing a Zoom makeover with a male client, and he's a very professional, soft-spoken, very thoughtful man. And he had this beautiful Italian leather sofa living room with windows, but it looked like he was sitting on the floor. Oh. So the perspective wasn't quite right. So maybe you have to, move yourself, or maybe the perspective of the photograph isn't quite right. So if you want it to look realistic, make sure that it looks like you're at the same level as your furniture,
right?
As your background.
Right. I didn't even think about that. So would I go up, or am I in a good position?
Actually, if you come down, it's a little bit better, but you might, but then
I'll lose my head.
And you're losing. So
yeah.
You just can't, you can't change the image. You can change yourself, but then maybe you're not positioned. You want your eyes at the top third of the box.
Okay.
And I kind of have this little hand position. If you put your hands like this and you put your fingers on top of your head,
I can't do it on mine right now, but yeah.
Your little pinky should be at the top of the frame. And then you kind of want your armpits at the bottom of the frame. So this way that people can see some of your nonverbal movement, and that everybody's the same. And for women, you don't really want your breasts at the bottom, because they will physically be the closest thing to the camera, and they will look bigger than they actually are. They will be in the foreground. So it's
good point.
Keep the level at your armpits at the bottom of the box.
That is a great tip. If anyone takes anything away from this, that is the number one tip of the day for sure. That is so funny. So what's your advice on what colors do look best on you?
Okay, so on camera.
Or online, I mean.
Mm-hmm. So online, on camera. So the camera sees light and dark. So depending upon your background, it all depends upon your background. For the most part, you really don't want to wear black, because you will fade into the background. And what you want is, because when you're in a one-on-one meeting with somebody, they're looking at you because you're both in the same background. But now that if you're on Zoom or you're on WebEx or Team, it's not just you, it's you and your background. So you don't want to wear black because you're going to fade into the background. If you wear light or white, you're going to be the first thing that you see. It's going to be too bold. So I suggest wearing a solid color or a small print, but a color that is different from what is behind you. So if I have this large cabinet behind me, I don't want to wear brown.
Right.
If I have this off-white sofa on this side, I also don't want to wear white or off-white. It's going to be too much. So I try to wear a different color. Even though most of my wardrobe is black and white,
Yes.
I work really hard during this time to wear solid colors so that I stand out, so that I'm the main event.
Mm-hmm.
So Laura, when you're talking to me, you can really focus in on me, and I'm not going to blend in with my background.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And I guess when you're doing a virtual background too, you want to make sure that you're using sort of the same rules.
Exactly. So if you, like, for example, this particular virtual background that you have, you would not want to wear, even though you're situated on the floor, but you do have dark furniture.
Right.
And over on the left side of the screen, you have this dark forest. So if you had a long sleeve or even a short sleeve top on that was dark, you would be too dark.
Got it.
I mean, the fact that you're wearing a sleeveless top and your shoulders are showing is okay, because it's breaking it up. But you definitely don't want to wear, because again, you have brown and green in your top.
Right.
There's other colors.
I know. Well, I was going to use a different virtual background that was a little brighter, but then I decided on this one. So yeah, it's all these little things to consider. And I really think what you're doing is helping a lot of people, because who knows how long, this is going to go on. And I think a lot of people are actually not that they're enjoying Zoom, but it's making it a lot easier for people to do business. So I think Zoom is not going away, or Teams, or doing these virtual meetings.
Right.
And people are going to be working virtually for we don't know how long. So I think what you're doing, a lot of people can use your skills to help them look professional, keep their brand going, and and look good and feel confident in their little box.
Exactly. And so I'm working with individuals. I have small little workshops, and I'm also giving large presentations to companies and organizations to really help them, up to maybe 100 people at a time, so that they can really understand what it takes. I've created a 5-step process, or it evolved, this 5-step process that I take people through. It's camera angle, lighting, background, color clothing, and makeup. We talk a lot about makeup because what this is a 2-dimensional surface, and to look more real, to feel like you're really talking to the person, and you want to have them look more approachable. And I try to create a 3-dimensionality to your face, to you in your setting. So again, like I said, a foreground, a midground, and a background, and even with your face with makeup. An artist is painting when an artist is painting a painting, they have to create the illusion of a 3-dimensional face, breasts, muscles, body shape. And so that's what I help people do, like how to get the shading right and where to put it, because it's not daytime makeup, and it's a little bit like stage makeup, but it's not stage makeup. And
so interesting. And none of us know really how to do that. So your expertise is really helping so many people. So thank you so much for sharing your tips and being here today. And for everyone who's been listening, if you like what you learned today, please like, comment, and share. And I will put Shelley's information and my information in the comments section. And thank you again for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Thanks, Laura. Thanks for inviting me.
My pleasure.